The idol on everybody's minds at this moment is probably Hyuna, because she has confirmed, revealed, I don't know, that she's dating a man involved in the Burning Sun scandal. I say involved because I don't think he was ever charged with anything. I don't think he ever went to jail like some people were saying. What the tweets that I read saw were that he was in a separate chat with one of the main perpetrators in the group chat, and he was sent video of that person raping a girl, and he admitted to that in court as well. Hyuna and him have been friends for years. He was in Cube at the same time as her. They have been on TV shows together, survival shows, I don't know what they were. At the little idol sports thing, they were having fun together. That sparked dating rumors in the past. So they've been close since forever. But she, a few days ago, posted on Instagram, and so did he, confirming that they were dating. What I hope this situation reveals, shows, finally we come to terms with it. And for the past 4 years, we do not know these idols. But what I do know for sure is that Hyuna herself was never really the feminist icon that people made her out to be recently, or that people think that she said that she was. I don't know how to explain it, but I saw a lot of tweets expressing disappointment, saying that Hyuna was this leader in women's liberation in the feminist movement in Korea, and this is just really shocking and unexpected. And it's like, do we know the same Hyuna or not? Because Hyuna herself has never come out and just simply been like, I'm a feminist, I believe in women empowerment, I believe in XYZ. To my knowledge, I literally looked up Hyuna feminism and nothing came up, to be honest with you. There is a picture of her in a shirt saying we should all be feminists, but as we know, shirts like that, signs, posters, whatever, that doesn't really mean anything. Hyuna has always had a sexually charged persona, but let's not forget that that was something that was forced on her ever since her adolescence. Like, and even in the Wonder Girls, the way that JYP Entertainment had her dancing, had her dressing, was very sexual. And I get that once she was older, she may have made some comments about it, like just kind of acknowledging that it happened. But her little personal anecdotes don't translate into like knowledge, don't translate into praxis, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like that was just her reflection, you know? And the one example people bring up to prove that I guess she was a feminist was her song Babe, Bebe, however you want to say it, girl. That's how she says it in the song. People think that that song is her describing her sexualization and exploitation as a young woman, whatever, in the industry. No. Hyuna has always said that that song was about Dawn making her feel young. And I don't know how that song always got interpreted as being about her exploitation, because when I first read that and I looked at the lyrics and I was like, yeah, I'm getting you for sure. Like, you ever been in English class and y'all reading a poem and you don't get it, but like everyone's like, yep, that's how I interpret it, and you're like, oh, yep, me too, for sure. That's what it felt like to me. To be honest, that whole time I was like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about, like, because the lyrics don't ever really give that. In the music video, I guess people say that it gets like weird, but once again, that was probably something Hyuna didn't really have control over. It was probably the director at that point. And again, Cube at the end of the day put it out. She really wasn't in control of her entire persona like people like to think. Like, the real question here is Hyuna a feminist, or was she just someone you admired because she had a very carefree, I don't give a fuck attitude, and she made sexual music, or she had a sexual, girl, I don't know, because even y'all are confusing me. Like, it's like looking at AOA and be like, oh, feminism. For what? Like, I need a reason. Not everything has to be like feminism, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just that thing, like, I have a hairy body and I don't really feel that societal pressure to shave my entire body. I don't wear makeup. I think it's fun to play with sometimes, very frustrating, but I don't feel the need to wear makeup. I don't like how it feels. Like, it's not a feminist act inherently for me, but I see how it can subscribe to the ideals of feminism, which go against society's standards and expectations for women. But again, that doesn't inherently make you feminist. That's what I said before. It's just like Mamamoo were called feminists in the past for like just doing things, and it's just like, are they feminists? Or better yet, are they promoting female empowerment? Or do you as a woman feel empowered by the music that they make, by how they look, I guess? And I also saw people mention that she had talked about New Jeans, saying that, you know, young minors in the industry need to be protected, when that's not what she said. And I don't remember if I ever said anything about it, but I remember when all those articles came out in the headlines and all the tweets that were surrounding it. And I was like, did we read the same quote? Because that's not what she was saying. She was saying that she hoped that they had someone to confide in, and then that she hoped that they were eating and not starving themselves. That's it. She didn't say anything regarding their debut. She didn't say anything regarding Manheejin. But it's like, for some reason, we took that idea and what we know about New Jeans and we projected all. Let me not say we. You, y'all, some of y'all took that idea and what you know about Manheejin and New Jeans and projected these ideals onto her, just like you projected the idea that she was a feminist onto her because of her kind of hypersexual image. And another point people bring up is the fact that she goes against Korea's expectations of a woman. Or doing something like that doesn't necessarily have to be politicized or an act of feminism or some greater thing, you know? It's just kind of crazy to come to that conclusion just based on appearance, you know? Like, just because Hyuna is sexy and carefree doesn't mean she's a feminist. Maybe she's just existing simply. That's all that there is to it, and nothing more, nothing less. Like, and that's true for like a lot of women. And you could blame liberal feminism, you could blame white feminism, but the idea that being hypersexual is like female empowerment and it's feminist and really destroyed a lot. And clearly here it has some damaging effects onto us as well. So I hope that is a reminder. Just because people adopt certain aesthetics doesn't mean that they will ever completely do away with things like misogyny and the patriarchy and things like that. Hyuna never built her career on feminist ideals like people are saying. That's what I don't get, because like you have actual idols who have like been very explicit in their references to feminism, who have explicitly said that they are feminists and things like that. Like, thinking of just the Wonder Girls, I would go to Yeon or Hot Felt. That would be one who I said has kind of built somewhat of a career. I wouldn't even say built a career, but she's been advocating for it for a long time. Whereas Hyuna never did. That's not what Hyuna is. And it's very similar to the way when a K-pop idol holds a pride flag or something, people will project onto them either being gay or, you know, being a real supporter of the community. And it's like, that's not really how things work. Or a better example would probably be Super Junior, how they engaged in fan service. They were making out on stage and then turn around and have homophobic beliefs and vote and support Trump and shit like that. And this makes me think of the ways in which I too have kind of projected ideals onto idols, but like at the same time, not really. You go into K-pop and look at a group like BTS who have aligned themselves with the United Nations, who have a fandom that continuously tell you how woke they are, how they've apologized for their mistakes, they know better, they won't do shit like that anymore, who oddly went out of their way to remove the word "niga" in Korean out of their songs during concerts so that their Black fans wouldn't get offended. Like, but then when 2020 rolled around, all of a sudden it was, oh, they don't have to speak on every single social issue ever. They're just a musical group. They're not activists and things like that. That's the image that you gave them. And they have and continue to lean into it. So, people would actually look to it. You see what point I'm trying to make? So, slow down. Like, because again, Hyuna never in her life has said anything to support the idea that she was a feminist, that she believed in women empowerment. And that's not to say that she doesn't, but I know that she didn't build her career on that. And I know that she's never said anything publicly. So how y'all got feminist queen from that? I'm confused. And I had been wanting to make a video about that for a long time, and it was going to be in reference. There were different situations that made me think of it, but one of the main pieces. It was going to be about Jinsol when she used Luna's version of Bubble. I forgot what it's called, Fab or something like that. And she asked them, or just talked to them about skin whitening methods, because I guess she got too dark. I don't know. I don't remember. And people were really upset because it was just like, you just got off tour where, you know, there were people that were obviously much darker than your pale self. So like, if you think you're dark, what do you think about your fans? And then also because of Luna's Butterfly, where they had different races, ethnicities. They had the girl with the hijab. We kind of, not we, people kind of titled them as the unproblematic K-pop group, and then that all came crashing down like months later with their whole like cultural appropriation era that would come. But that was one of the more perfect examples of what I'm trying to describe, because what you forget is that Luna was never really allowed to be in the musical room doing things. Like, maybe they could choreograph shit here and there, but when it came to the music, they were not allowed to, as we found out. That was all the mind of Jade and Jong and whoever else was working with them. That's not to say that the Luna members don't believe in that message, and that's not to say that Jinsol is this evil person, but it's just like, she was a victim to Korean beauty standards, especially being in the industry herself and having to subscribe to those ideals. But it was also like, you're 26, so it's time to move. Too old to be acting like that. The conversation also makes me really mad because instead of, I don't know, focusing on the heinous acts of her boyfriend, for some reason we're bringing up her ex-boyfriend, Edon, and Pentagon, and Triple H, and Hui, because that matters. Like, shocker, you're allowed to break up with people. Shocker, Edon left Cube on his own accord. Ooh, hate to say it, but I don't know what to tell you. Hyuna has nothing to do with that, to be honest with you. Like, Hyuna did not force that man to date her. Hyuna did not force that man to leave Cube. Hyuna did not force that man to go to P Nation with her. Hyuna did not force that man to leave P Nation with her. Hyuna did not ruin anybody's career. You just see the misogyny coming out. Isn't that funny? We're talking about female empowerment and how Hyuna is this feminist, and y'all are losing track of your feminist ideals at the same time. Why are we blaming Hyuna for another man's action? In the case of Edon, you know, like, y'all could easily get on Hyuna for aligning herself with, oh, not an abuser, witnessing unconsensual acts and not reporting it. Y'all could get on her for that. But we bringing up, oh shit, it's been 5 years, maybe even longer. That happened in what, 2018? Girl, it's been 5.5 years. And y'all bringing up something that Edon himself also chose to do. He didn't have to do none of that, but he did. And again, it's been 5 years. Move on. Move on. Real women were harmed in this situation, and we bringing up Edon. But at the same time, I can understand being upset as a fan, but even that, like, imagine the women that were actually victims in the Burning Sun scandal and how it feels to, if they viewed Hyuna as a feminist icon, what that might do to a victim. I can't really even say I'm disappointed, because whenever similar things kind of happen, like, how am I supposed to be disappointed in someone that I don't really know outside of me liking you for the music that you make or a funny joke that you made before? You can't really disappoint me as a person, because I, again, do not know you. But it's deplorable, it's disgusting, and God gonna handle her at the end of the day. I don't know what to tell you. And I hope this video doesn't come off as me looking down on people for feeling betrayed and such and things like that, because that's not my intention. Really, it was just kind of born out of me not ever really seeing the Hyuna feminist idol type thing that people believe she was. I do think you can be disappointed and feel awful about it, because it honestly did come out of left field and nobody expected it. Even if she had the feminist image, even if she didn't, it's just like, who goes out of their way to date someone and confirm it publicly, you know?